Hello and congratulations on getting access to this video course on Facebook page likes. Now, I want to make sure that you understand that this is not just about generating likes, which can in turn help you create more social proof, which leads to authority and all that good stuff. This goes beyond that. This also helps you with engagement levels, which Facebook, when they look at your Facebook fan page, obviously they care a lot about how people interact with your page and how good of an experience that they have. But I'm going to talk more about that. We're going to talk about how to utilize all of what we're going to teach you to create a winning strategy. You see, a lot of people tend to make the mistake of running ads in a tier 1 country immediately. So we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But a tier 1 country is basically like the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and a lot of the big countries that have big economic growth. So this is video number 1, and let's first talk about mindset, quality versus quantity. Now, I know this might seem like a no-brainer, but this is actually something that is commonly overlooked when it comes to this topic. A lot of people have this misconception that they can buy Facebook fan page likes and get a bunch of fans. Now, that might have been the case back in the day, but if you do that, unfortunately with Facebook, you can get your Facebook fan page banned or totally removed. And you don't want that. You want to make sure that you get quality likes. In other words, it's better to have highly targeted quality likes, 1,000 of them, versus 50,000 fan page likes. So that's what we're going at here, and we'll dive into it in a lot more detail in just a minute. But I want you to realize that whenever you drive quality traffic and quality likes, it's going to cost you a little bit of money. All right, so that's just a quick reality check. It's not going to cost you several hundreds or thousands of dollars. It's just going to cost you about $50 to $100. So you need to keep that in mind whenever dealing with Facebook ads. Is going to cost money. Now, the downside with targeting tier 1 countries in terms of Facebook likes is it can cost a lot of money. It can cost anywhere from 10 cents to 50 cents a like to even several dollars. So how are we going to get around this? The strategy here is that we're going to be using and targeting tier 2 and tier or something that resonates with them, and then the snowball effect just continues. So even if you get 10,000 likes, that 10,000 likes could multiply to 15 or even 20,000 likes over time. Now, obviously, there is going to be a drop-off if you haven't touched it for months or even years. But the point here is that if you do have the ad campaigns running, you should just continue that snowball effect. Now, on top of this, I want to mention that when it comes to running ads, a lot of times if you find that an image resonates with that of that country, that specific niche in that country. So even if it resonates really well with people in Bangladesh, and then you find that it resonates with another third tier country, that's a good sign, because now you're able to test what images actually work and what images don't work, and which images are actually converting into page likes. So that's something that we figured out. So instead of trying to test things in the United States of America or United Kingdom or Canada up front, because what will end up happening is you'll spend thousands of dollars trying to test things out, trying to figure things out, versus you're testing pennies of a dollar with these penny likes, and you're testing images to see which one works. And then you take that information and then you set it up and you target it towards a tier 1 country. That is when you are able to kind of set things up for success, which we'll talk about more in the next video. But I wanted to show you this for now, half a year later. But with paid ads, yes, you do have to spend a little bit of money, but what you're trying to do here is you're buying data. So I want you to understand that when you run ads, you're not necessarily trying to get a result right away. You're trying to see where the market goes, where your audience goes in terms of steps. Okay, they take a step, they like your page. What next? Do they like your page? Do they not? Is there a reason why? Does the sales copy or the words that you use resonate with them? Do the images resonate? Do they not? So I briefly touched base on this previously, but being able to test things out with pennies is a lot better than having to spend dollars, right? Or pounds or euros. So as you can see here, if I scroll down, you can see that for some of these, I've targeted the US and gotten it down to about 7 cents, which is not bad. But as you can imagine, if I tested it out, like over here, this is US stores, it would have been about 34 cents just out of the gate, or even more. Sometimes it would be actually $1 per like. So if I scroll down here, you can see Asia. This encompasses Asia, excluding Philippines. And I got about $1 daily budget, 8,371 page likes. So that's the result. And then, of course, cost per result was 1 cent. So we spent $92 and we got a good amount of likes. Now, whenever I see this, I want to break things down further and maybe test out a different image and see what works. Now, as you can see here, we've targeted the Philippines, and you can target a country and then a specific age group. What I recommend is you target the age group that has been resonating or that looks like your customers. If your customers are mainly like 50 to 70, then focus on that. But at the same time, you don't want to disregard potential audiences that might be interested in your product. So as we scroll down here, we've got Philippines, 3,848 likes for about 2 cents. So we scroll down further. When it says third W, that's third world countries. So those are tier 3 countries. And I basically just took a bunch of third world countries and just put them all into one campaign. Now, ideally, you would probably want to split them up into different countries, but just to make things faster, I did that. So as you can see here, I've got penny likes, literally pennies right there. Now, like I said, bear in mind that even though these are third world or even tier 1, 2, or 3 countries, or mostly tier 2 and 3 countries, the fact that they're targeted means that they are going to like, comment, and share the posts that are actually going to go up on the Facebook fan page. You see what I mean? So that's what is powerful about this, is you get the engagement aspect, which actually will help you in the long run. So the goal here is to just make you aware that going down this route, testing these tier 2 and 3 countries is actually a really good thing. And that is something that your competitors are not doing. A lot of times they'll disregard it because they're thinking, well, it's not targeted. I'm not targeting, people overseas or anything like that. So this is thinking outside of the box. Okay, so what I just showed you previously, those were the ad sets. And the ad sets allows you to target a specific country, a specific demographic. Now, right below that, you have the ad level. And these are ads or images, content, headlines, and all of that. So as you can see here, this allows me to test different images, what resonates and what doesn't. And this image right here, I put a $7 daily budget. It got 3,641 page likes for a penny each. And the relevance score was 7, and that's actually good. So a lot of times people will get relevance scores of 1 or 2 or 3, and that's not a good thing, because if it's low like that, what will end up happening is you'll actually spend more money. The higher the relevance score, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to 10, the lower you will actually pay, because Facebook wants to reward people who have ads that create a good experience, right? So if we scroll down further, we can see for the most part, you know, it's relevant score 7 and then 8. So this one did really well. This one was 7. This one was 6. And then we look at the 6 and then we're like, okay, this one actually got a decent amount of page likes. Even though it was a lower relevant score, it made it up for it with a good amount of page likes. So you do want to take into consideration the likes, the cost, and all that before you decide, okay, this is not a good image, this is not a good text, or anything like that. So I wanted you to see this so that you understand the process and that you understand that it all starts from a targeted like, and then it goes from there all the way down here, and then it creates that snowball effect that generates more likes and more engagement to your Facebook fan page. So we'll type the keyword in, business, and we are focusing on, let's say, business women. So let's say this one resonates with the demographic. So what we want to do is we want to click it like so. We can move it around. And of course we want to delete the other text, put it down here. And we want to find a photo that resonates with that demographic. So we could type in business woman and see what we get. So we could use something like this, maybe. Now obviously that does not, you cannot read that, so you're going to need to play with it a little bit until the text fits in like that. Like that. And then maybe the size is just too big, so we get that there. And then maybe we put that here, like that. Okay, so once you like it, all you have to do is you can click save or save it to a collection, which is basically like a folder, or you can click download and then upload that to Facebook. Now, what's really cool about Get Stencil is they have a feature where once you have all the images created, you can use their share feature and right click and connect it to your Facebook fan page. So within Get Stencil itself, you can actually share the image instead of having to log in to Facebook and do all that. You can also hire a freelancer you can say, I want you to log in every single day at this time, this such and such time, and then do a share from Get Stencil and go from there. So that way people are constantly engaging with your content. Now, something that we found that works really well is to get an idea of kind of a central location or a central time that might be midday or during a certain time where your audience is free, and then post during that time. So that's it. That's all we do is create images that resonate with the audience, and then words, whether they're quotes, whether you can find them here or elsewhere on Google. And that's all we do. Take these, create these content, create hundreds of these images, and then just post them on a daily basis. One thing you want to do is, and keep this in mind, is to be consistent. People like consistency because it's predictable. So if you upload an image, make sure you do it every day. Or if you communicate with them and say, we're going to upload every other week or every week, you don't want to do every other week. That's too long. But every other day kind of thing, or twice, 3 times a week. So that is how to create the very, very simplistic 5-minute or even less content. And that's all we do. You don't have to get fancy. You don't need article content or anything like that. Your whole goal right now is to build engagement and build those fan page likes and show people that are looking at your page like, hey, this is an engaging, and people are getting engaged, people are active, come join this community. Because a lot of times, if you yourself, if you're looking at a fan page and it's all empty, then you're not going to want to join. But if you see a lot of people, communicating, commenting, liking, sharing, psychologically you think, oh, there must be something interesting, right? So that's it. And let's move on to the next video. Okay, so there are two websites that we use for almost the last decade. And the first one is Big Stock Photo. That's bigstockphoto.com, as you can see here. This, they have really good images, and it does cost money, obviously. Another one is called graphicriver.net. And if you go here, you can actually go to photos, and you'll find photos for about $2. Now, if you're low on money and you want something for free, then there's another site called pixabay.com. And you can go there, you can sign up, and you can find a lot of really good royalty-free free images that allow for commercial use. And as you can see, it looks just as good. There's just a more of a limited variety compared to that of like Big Stock Photo or even Graphic River. So now that you have an idea of what to do, which is gather the images, want you to pause the video, figure that out, and then in the next 3 videos, I'm going to show you how to actually set up your ads.